What if you could be objective in the motive of your heart? What if you could leave room for grace? How would that transform how you listen? How would that transform how you speak? What if you could just be a friend? My gosh, that's a great idea. That's divine revelation. How would that change your marriage? How would that change your relationship? What if you had the space to say, I messed up again? Oops, I did it again. What would happen? What would happen if I could listen with an objective ear and I could say, you know what, we're on the same team. That's my friend. I want the best for her. I want to see her go wherever it is God is taking her. I want to see her excel. So I'm not going to allow my subjective experience to dictate the motive of my heart. What would that do, man? You want to add anything back? You good? Okay. The next one is, right, so open, right? Am I being open? Am I being objective? Am I trying to prove a point? Check out the scripture.
Timothy 2:23. Don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments, because you know they produce quarrels.
Yeah, you know that was in the Bible, huh? There's a lot of stuff. All right, for real. There's a lot of stuff that you're reading that you probably like, Dag, I didn't know that was in there, man. Right? I didn't even know some of this stuff was in there. I was like, wow, God. Right? So here's what happens when we're trying to prove a point, right? When we're trying to prove a point, this is in your handout. When we try to prove ourselves right, we are allowing pride to take over our hearts, and it is reflective in what we say. Do you know that when you're trying to prove a point, you are definitely not going to listen to what your spouse is saying? Because you're too busy concocting your argument to prove why you're right. Nobody here does that, right? Listen, there's times that we're quiet, right, and we're arguing. We're not quiet. We're going through it, right, and Jackie's saying what she's saying, and in my mind, I'm already like, Now, she thinks I'm listening, right, but in my mind, boy, I got, got it right there. Let me just bank that one, and I'm like, But in the heart of hearts, my motive, what's going on here is I'm just trying to prove a point. How are you going to communicate to the heart when the pride is creating a barrier? Pride is a defensive wall. Communicating to the heart is breaking the wall down. Pride says, heck no, I'm making a wall big enough that you ain't going to climb over. And I'm putting some guns here so that you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pride. And that's what happens when the motive of our heart is jacked up. We want to always prove a point. And basically, we have no regard for our spouse. The only concern we have is making sure that our point is heard, is validated, and it's accepted as truth. That's it. That's our only concern. There's no communication skill that you're going to learn that's going to be effective in terms of you growing if all you're going to do is prove a point. I don't care who you go to. Oprah ain't going to help you. Dr. Phil ain't going to help you. I don't know who the newer people are, but y'all know what I'm talking about. There's no book on earth that's going to help you if in your heart all you want to do is let your point be heard. It's just not going to work. It's not. And I know that, because I'm just as guilty. Many of us spend too much energy trying to prove a point.